Oh,
Hey, Rich, how's it going?
not bad, Jeff. How are you?
Great, man. We're going to do this thing. We're going to try and do, like, I don't know, maybe 12 questions and get through it real quick.
Yeah, good deal.
All right, man. So, you're putting on a fight. When is the fight?
June 15th at Downs again. We had a good turnout last year. The show went well, so we decided to go back.
So, how did this Batavia Downs opportunity happen?
A couple of years ago, they reached out to me. I did a couple shows at the hotel up the road. One of the marketing guys happened to be at one of them and said they wanted it. They wanted it at the Downs.
That sounds pretty good, man. Is this show going to be indoor or outdoor?
This show is outdoor again.
Awesome, man. So, is there an alternate rain date if it's pouring?
Nope.
Awesome, man.
Rain.
Heck yeah.
I got tents on standby. If we need more, we'll put them up. If not, then we're going to fight like we did last year.
Who was the toughest guy that ever fought for you?
The toughest guy that ever fought for me.
The toughest. Doesn't have to win the most, but just the toughest guy.
The toughest, grittiest guy. I mean, I think if we asked any of them, they would throw their own name in the hat. I think the toughest, most skilled fighter that ever got in the ground sports fight cage was probably Matt Speciale.
That's probably the choice I'd have to make, or maybe Mickey's head for bouncing Matt Speciale's shin off it so many times before he fell asleep.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What is your show's best fight? The best fight on your card this time coming up?
The best fight on this card?
The best fight coming up on this card.
Oh, man. Let's see. We got a few good ones. I mean, they're all good, but we got a few that are going to be really good. Best fight on this coming up card. Yeah, this is going to be some guys that nobody really knows. I mean, you know one of them. Zach Bronscheitel. We got Zach fighting a kid named Carter McGee. And Carter's coming out of Fearless MMA north of Toronto by like 2 hours. I met him. I met Carter at Toronto Open. So apparently, actually the Canadian National Tournament, JITS tournament. This kid's a stud. This kid is a stud. And from what I hear about Zach, he's a stud as well. So.
Yeah, Jake, the guy from WNYMMA?
Yeah.
Yeah, his name's Jake, I think. Jake, the giant muscle guy?
Jake.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yep, dude, he's a fierce, he can wrestle, man. He's a giant.
And this kid is the same. I talked to him a couple times. This kid Jake, he seems very even-tempered. He's kind of a nice guy,
Dude, he has got an iron chin. Let me tell you, I seen him take some shots in his last fight. Woo! Didn't even phase him.
Right, good. This kid's gonna be fun. I mean, Carter is, he's a wrestler / JITS guy, but I think right now he's 1-0 in Muay Thai and 1-0 in K1.
All right, 2 undefeated going at it, man. That's going to be an exciting fight. 2 athletes, too. For the next question, now I'm going to ask, what was the best fight ever on your show?
Man, put me on the spot here.
I am. That's what this is all about.
I mean, there's been some good fights. I mean, the best fight to go the distance, probably the most evenly matched fight, I think, is Mark Murray and Jim Pearl.
That was a great fight.
That was a good fight, yeah. As far as the most dominating performance, I mean, last year's show, I think we had 4 people sleeping in the cage, so there were some pretty dominating fights last year.
Yeah, that Panfarov knockout was crazy.
What's it called? Yuri?
Yeah, Yuri's knockout. Yeah. Whew, that was a little scary.
That one was tough. Marconi knocked out Travis Streeter.
Mm-hmm. Laid down the macaroni.
Yeah. I think Gerhardt went to sleep in the cage last year.
Yeah.
Got punted in the face.
I still think his knee was down. I want a replay on that.
Oh, man, I think we watched it. I think it wasn't. I don't recall off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it was up.
It was all the way.
They would have reversed it.
Yeah, it was all the way across the cage for me, but I would love to see that replay.
Yeah, that was good.
All right, so what made you put on your own show?
Talked about this a couple times. I was doing some judging and different stuff around. Don Lilly, with TNT, had an opportunity to go and work for NYSAC. So they kind of put the idea in my head. And I've always, deep down, I've always wanted to have a show. I started fighting in like 98, and doing different things. Obviously, you were around back then too,
Yeah.
It was a shit show the whole time. Nobody knew what was going on, promoters included. I kind of, I talked to Don a little, and I decided once the state said, yeah, they gave us the thumbs up, I just decided to just dive in and then just start a show.
Yeah, you did it when it got hard and when it was all regulated and you have to do a lot more stuff than we used to have to do back in the day with TNT. I applaud you for stepping up, man. That leads into the next question. Number 7, why do you take such good care of your fighters?
It kind of goes to the same thing. You know, when I was fighting, and I know you've been on some pretty shady cards as well. Nothing against the promoters back then. That's just how it worked. You know, at that point, when I was fighting, there was a lot of stuff that promoters didn't do that I wanted them to do, and there was some stuff that some of them did that were good, and some stuff that some of them did that were really bad. So I tried to weed out all the bad stuff that I'd seen. I tried to implement everything good that I'd come across over the years, and then, you know, put in some new ideas that I've always had that I, you know, would work well and go better for the fighters. So really why I take care of the fighters is because nobody else does.
I like that a lot. I mean? I always recommend
I'm not saying hold on. I'm not saying other promoters don't. I'm saying it's the promoters are the last line of defense, really, to take care of the fighters. These guys bust their butts, especially the amateurs. They bust their butts really for just their ticket commission. They don't get paid. They don't, you know, they really don't get, I mean, besides a pat on their back if they win, you know, and some of them catch the raw end of the deal when they lose, you know what I mean? So it's kind of tough. So I just like to take care of them and make it a good experience, win or lose, you know?
I love that, man. I try and make sure that I get as many guys as I can on your card because I really like the way that you take care of the fighters, and I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. Number 8, this one might get a little dicey for you. Has your wife ever wanted to divorce you for making her drive fighters around?
Absolutely, for sure. You know, driving to the east side and picking up a certain fighter and him not coming out, and then, you know, I mean, it was, and we were already short on fights for that show. So if that wasn't the case, we would have just left them there, and that would have been that. But as far as that question goes, I would say no.
Oh, that's good. I've not wanted to divorce you when you had me pick up Alex Carroll, but we won't even go into that. Who was the smelliest guy that ever fought for you?
Oh man, smelliest guy. I mean, obviously, you know, I'm not a fan of cigarettes, so I would have to say smoking John Gerhardt.
Oh,
you know,
man.
Smell kind of got me, and that has nothing to do with personal hygiene, which, you know, for any fighters, you know, training and being ready may or may not be, you know, horrible. Come ready time to fight. Definitely the cigarette smoke is a major downfall for me.
Yeah, it probably shouldn't smell like cigarettes right before you walk out the fight either. It's probably not the best thing for you.
And blowing a cloud of smoke out before you walk up the tunnel, yeah.
All right, let's get back to the card that we got going on. What are the title fights on this card?
So title fights, we actually lost a couple recently. I had, I mean, it doesn't even matter. We shouldn't talk about it because they're not on the card. But Brad Vargason was going to fight J-Ron Mendoza. Mendoza's got a injured rib.
Oh, man.
So with that, talking to Brad is actually going to be vacating his title. He's going to be he's all done with MMA now. He's just concentrating on professional kickboxing.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yep, I actually just found that out today. I just found that out.
I mean, that's not good for you and your
Oh, sorry. I mean, his fight was lost anyways, and, you know, he's got a very promising. Brad is a very talented kickboxer. He's got a very promising career.
Any other title fights that we still have on the card?
Oh, yeah. Yep, title fights. So I have Mark Murray out of Vikings. So Brad Vargason's gym there in Syracuse fighting against John Grisafi. So Mark was actually scheduled to fight Anthony Gugino, who's a stud out of Buffalo United. Gugino got in a car accident the other day and damaged his shoulder, so he's out. John stepped up. John has beat Mark in a kickboxing match and decided, you know, let's get into MMA and see.
Yeah, he's a little bit tough. I rolled that dude. He's a little scrappy.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a good fight. Another one I'm excited for. We got a few. Mark Pony's coming back to defend that belt.
Who's he got?
He's fighting the kid. Who's he got?
Yeah, who's he fighting?
We're bringing a kid. I'll tell you what. I'm bringing a kid up from Kentucky because there's no super heavyweights around that you know, have the balls to fight, honestly. I mean, most of them are fat little dumplings, and they talk a lot online. You know, Matt Boyce and whoever.
Mm-hmm.
I see him jabbering online today about Marconi, but he absolutely won't take a fight with him. Because he's turned him down twice, and Kronk too, for that matter.
Well, that's smart.
He's fighting a kid. he's fighting a kid named Austin Green out of right near Louisville, Kentucky. He's a Georgia kid, but he lives in Kentucky now. This kid's 3-0. Played semi-pro football. He's a big, solid kid. He looks mean. You know, in his fights, he's got 3 finishes, and 2 of them were inside of 30 seconds each. So this is going to be a good fight. It's going to be good. I think they're going to come out and smash each other. And if it goes to the ground, it's still up in the air because they're equal in wrestling.
I hope neither one of those two guys falls out on top of me because I'm so close to action. Those are some big dudes, man.
And they're coming in. Both of them are going to come in around 3:15.
Do you have insurance for commentators? I want some insurance on the commentator.
Main event title fight is going to be Quentin Morosi. Quentin is the bantamweight champ. He got a guy back out on him last minute. At the last show, we gave him the title because he made the weight. He put the work in. He's fighting, man, a super talented kid out of Mohawk Valley, Brendan Kennedy, who's now, I think he's 3-0 or 4-0 right now. He's young, man. This kid just turned 19. He's a stud.
He's a tough kid, man.
This is going to be a good fight because Quentin is a monster. He's super strong at that weight class, and he's tough. And Brendan is a slick wrestler, and his ground game is good. But he comes out with malicious intent, man. He tries to knock people's heads off.
Yeah, he probably should just take him down, man. That's a good fight. I can't wait to see how that one goes down. I know both those guys.
That's definitely going to be a good one. I saw Quentin recently, man. His weight was up, so he's a big kid, but he's got a pretty good team behind him, and they're he's working with a nutritionist, and they're getting his weight down.
Yeah, he's so big for that weight class. Holy cow! All right, last question.
Yeah.
I know this one's going to set you off a little bit, so I'm going to let you go to sleep on it. How do you feel about guys that pull out your fights for just like a BS reason?
Here's the deal. I don't take a lot of things personally anymore. I get that, there's a lot of fighters out there that are Facebook fighters they want everybody to see the poster. They want to announce that they're on the card, but they're fucking pussies, dude. That's just what it is, plain and simple. I get it. Most of these guys, and the bulk of them are very good athletes, and they have their heart is in it, and they're they put the time in. But there's a select few that either go black at the end of the camp when they are supposed to turn in their medicals, and they have a damaged eye or whatever the case is, and no specific. So there are different things that happen, and that's with pro as well, man. Stuff happens. I get it. But, there are some guys that just do it for a little notoriety, and then it comes fight time, and they're like, oh, shit, man, I'm not ready to get punched in the mouth, or whatever the case is. So that's so I don't take it personally anymore. I try to see through that stuff in the beginning. But, if I want to put on 15 fights, I book 30.
Yeah.
Because I know we're going to lose half for some reason or another.
Sometimes lose more than half, too. That's the worst. All right.
It happens, man. It happens.
You got through all my questions. Sponsors to plug, guys that help you out for this event?
Yeah, man. So sponsors. Edie's Ranch in Alden, obviously, is a long-time sponsor. Playmates, Make It New, Painting and Remodeling. It's a company owned by the girl who owns Playmates, Shotzi Duran, who actually is going to be fighting on the card. She's going to be fighting in a kickboxing match.
Nice.
Man, John and Mary's in Batavia and Alden. Monster Energy is back.
Well, good. I hope I can get another free one.
I'll get you a case, man.
All right. I love it.
34 Rush, Take It Downs, West Main Wine and Spirits.
Integrity Martial Arts, Niagara Falls Boulevard, 3571. Throw my own plug.
Oh, yeah. For sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The card is looking solid right now. We got a solid 15-fight card, it looks like. Lots of Western New York MMA guys.
Always. We stack the card.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 booked, and I got 3 more teetering on the edge right now that I should have confirmed sometime this week.
You should get Afro Pat soon. Yeah, he's Pat, however he says his last name. We call him Afro Pat. He should be good. I don't know if he messaged or reached out to you, but we liked all the fights pretty much.
Pat
Casco.
Talking about the fighter?
Yeah, the fighter.
Kilo?
Yeah, Karis Kilo.
Yeah, I got him. So actually, that's a good one, man. I just booked him with Jim Pearl, dude.
Yeah, I know. We like that fight a lot. Those guys are gonna go to war, man. I'm telling you.
Well, and I watched him fight Kleckler. He's long, man. Pat's long, dude. That's the first time I ever saw him fight.
Yeah.
He's super tall for that weight class. You know what I mean?
He's strong too, man.
And he's super athletic too. So he just kind of dumped Kleckler. Kleckler shot and did some weird stuff and ended up getting mounted and just pounded out from there. But Jim. Jim's 6'2", 145 pounder, 6'3" probably.
Yeah, he's a veteran. He's tough.
So that's gonna be a good fight. And he's not the Jim that we saw against Mark Murray, man. He's been training a ton, from what I hear. He's been in the gym a lot, so I'm excited to see this fight, man. That one's a good one.
That might be the fight tonight.
You know what? I want to throw this up there too. I just booked. So I always do a BJJ match, as you know. So we just booked Mikey Schultz, black belt out of Western New York, at 185 pounds. Is going to take on Esteban Salinas he's a 4-star brown belt out of Synthesis BJJ.
Awesome. This is the perfect.
So
I was going to say this is a perfect method for Mike Schultz because he's a submission guy. Like, he doesn't play points. He's always looking to hurt somebody. It's a good match.
Yeah, it's going to be the same rule set. 1 10-minute period, sub only. If it goes to the decision, I make the choice. I'm excited, Nick. I'm switching it up a little this time. That's actually that fight or that match is good. That's going to happen after the intermission to start the title fights.
Oh, I like it. That's super cool.
It gets a little bit more, more profile. You get to watch it a little bit more.
I'm going to let you out of here. It's already long. I'm going to try and edit this down to about 10 minutes. I'm going to try and do every one of these for all the main card fighters that we get. You give me information for, and I'll sit down and try and make them 10 minutes apiece. I'll ask them like 10, 12 questions, and we'll get the word out for everybody. And the guys will love it, I'm sure.
Perfect. So what I'll do is then I'll get you... I will get you names and phone numbers.
We'll make it happen.
I like it, man.
All right, cool. Thanks, Rich.
Good deal. I appreciate it, Jeff. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, have a good night.